This is Vinay Bansal. I'm the founder and CEO of Inflection Point Ventures and also one of the largest network of CXOs in the country. Today, I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurial mindset in healthcare domain and also wanted to thank you guys in taking the time to listen to this. I really hope this is going to be beneficial to you, as I also thank Dr. Kaushik and Sankara I Foundation for this opportunity. How can we bring the entrepreneurial mindset into our healthcare domain? So I thought, I'll talk about that for about 20 minutes today. As I talk to you, I just want you to reflect upon why you chose this profession of being a doctor. It could be one of the three reasons or more. It could be you do not like disease and pain in this world, and therefore you want it to be eliminated, and therefore you chose it upon yourself to become a doctor and eliminate disease and pain. Other could be you enjoy making lives better. You enjoy making somebody better. And that's where you chose the profession of bringing joy to many other lives. The third could be that you want to add economic value to yourself, to the society, and to the country in general. Whatever may be your reason, entrepreneurship will help you amplify it and get you the best of the results in any of these areas. We will also learn that these three are not mutually exclusive, and therefore, while you may have a primary goal of one of these, you will need the support of other two goals as well to make your primary goal even better. So let's come to what is entrepreneurship and what are the few traits and attributes of an entrepreneurial mindset. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 key traits and mindsets, and then, hopefully you will find this valuable and you'll be able to leverage and utilize them in your regular routine and profession. Jack Welch said that good business leaders create a vision and then are able to communicate that vision, own that vision with the teams, and then drive results. And therefore, the first criteria or the first attribute that an entrepreneur should have is a very deep vision, which means why are you doing what you are doing, right? These entrepreneurs then are able to communicate that vision to the teams, to the stakeholders, get a lot of traction from their peers and from others in the same ecosystem to make that goal a reality. These entrepreneurs typically sweep away established or old technologies to bring in new technologies and make the vision and the mission much larger. These entrepreneurs bring a lot of ideas to the table which help them do better. We have heard about Henry Ford, who brought in cars to us. He helped humans transfer from one place to another a lot faster, a lot quicker. We all know about Elon Musk. He's handling multiple businesses, one in electric vehicle space with Tesla, and then also trying to go to the space in a very, very effective manner. In the past, we have had Thomas Alva Edison, who was the founder of GE and then bought Disney and others. All these great entrepreneurs changed the way we did things. Now, what should you look at in yourself when you think whether you want to be an entrepreneur or not, right? But before that, let's think about whether you're actually an entrepreneur or not, right? For example, when you became a doctor, you have the ability to do a refraction test yourself. You have the ability to do a vision examination yourself, right? But the moment you keep an optometrist in your team that helps you do the vision examination or the refraction test, you have become an entrepreneur. Now you are not just using your skills and time to do what you need to do. You are using the capital. You are using another person's ability to come with you to release your time to do a lot more patients, to help a lot more patients. That is, in simple terms, an example of entrepreneurship. So what are the traits that you need to become a real entrepreneurship? In the domain of vision, you should know why you are doing where do you want to go, and therefore what new technology or the what new way of doing stuff that you will bring in to do things better and faster. You need to identify opportunities as to where can you get the right talent, where are you going to be next 5 to 10 years, and then how are you going to achieve that vision. One thing I must say is that you need to be able to tell your story really well for people to come with you, to people to listen to you, for people to believe in you. The question that you should ask yourself, if you are a great visionary or not, is do you have a vision for where you are going and where you want to be in next 3, 5, 10 years? Do you know how you are going to serve your customers? And therefore, what problems are you going to solve for your customers or for yourself? In a nutshell, do you have a great clarity of thought in what you want to do? Let's move on to the next trait or the next mindset of being a great entrepreneur. Steve Jobs said that it's not my job to be easy on people. My job is to make them better. So when you hire your optometrist, you want him to do the job well. You want him to do with his full heart. You want him to work for you for long. That is when he will learn how things are. He will become better and he will make your patients better, right? And therefore, what's very important is to understand with humility and with empathy the need of your customer. That's very critical. Once you do that, then you find solutions to get that done. Now, leadership means that you are able to put various types of resources together and you are able to handle larger teams for a common goal. For this, you need two types of skills. One skill is to be able to work with the larger audience or larger teams. What are those skills? Those skills are called public skills, which I have listed on the right-hand side of the page. These include your ability to persuade others to be with you. These include the ability for you to excite people for your mission and your goal. These include building an employee base which is loyal to the mission. You being a team player, you being a good listener will help you get there. You having the empathy for your customer and for your team will help you get your teams together. The other are your private skills, which is for you inside you. What are these? This is integrity and transparency. Integrity means you do what you say. People will trust you a lot more. Have the courage to stick your neck out and do something new. Be comfortable with uncertainty, which means you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know which team members are going to be with you tomorrow, which are not. Are you comfortable with future changing? Today, we are living in a world which is very, very different from what it was 6 or 9 months back. We have all adopted to this new world. Some took a little bit less time, some took more. But those who were more comfortable could adapt early, and we are still running our world. We got to be disciplined. If we are disciplined, we'll be able to achieve a lot more. You should be driven, but plan and be prepared. Respect your competition, respect what others are doing, don't undermine them. These are your personal, I would say, traits for you to be successful as an entrepreneur. Last thing is be a continuous learner and keep expanding your horizon. For example, if you are an optician or if you are an eye surgeon, right, you still need to learn finance. You need to know which kind of machine will give you the best return for your money or for your resources that are going in. Because if you save resources, you'll be able to apply the same resources to do a much bigger and a better job and to achieve your goal in a much more effective manner, right? Learn and identify what's happening in the technology world. A software engineer could help code your knowledge into a small software wherein any patient coming in can actually put in their basic information and symptoms to get you to arrive at the conclusion of what's wrong. You should be spending, if you have 10 minutes with the patient, you should be spending 8 minutes talking and understanding the need of the patient, building a connect with the patient, and then giving them a solution versus spending 8 minutes out of 10 in just trying to assess what the situation is, right? That is where a doctor can have a lot more value, even getting driven out of a science of even building software. So what are the questions you should ask yourself, whether you're doing right on leadership or not? One, what reputation do you carry in your class or with your community or with your patients? Do they respect you? They will respect you if you have shown integrity, courage, and transparency. if you are disciplined, right? Will people be willing to work with you? Look around and you will know that answer for yourself. People will be willing to work with you if you have the ability to communicate, ability to build trust, ability to excite people for your mission, and have the persuasion skills to get them onto your team. Do you have the metal to make hard choices? You will be able to make hard choices if you know what you're deciding on, if you have the right data, and then you have the right judgment to make the decision. And then, of course, bring in the experience and maturity to handle larger teams. Large visions, large goals require large teams. With large teams, you need the ability of being a team player. Be a good listener. You may be right, others may be wrong. Listen it well still. Ability to trust and take advice. And then have the empathy for your teams and be generous in what they need. So that in summary will sum up is the leadership skills to be able to get your goal, whatever it is. It's economic, it's making the lives better, or it's stopping the world from having enough pain. All will come together. Let's move to the third trait of being a great leader and being a great entrepreneur. It is motivation and passion, which is driven by your personal background. You know, Amazon says that we are day one at Amazon even today. It's probably the largest company on earth, but they still treat themselves like day one entrepreneurs. That's the way to drive. What gets you up in the morning from the bed every day? Is it because you have to see so many patients? Or is it you want to make this place a better place, right? What is that grand noble cause that you're driven by every day? That is what will make you get up every day, giving your best every day. And therefore, it's important to love your work that you do on a day-to-day basis, on an hour-to-hour basis. Then you can work for 16, 18 hours that this profession requires. It's a demanding profession, right? But if you have that passion and the drive, the work will look like fun. And when you are having fun, the work doesn't look work anymore, right? Uh, let's come to the attributes. In this bucket, the key entrepreneur is perseverant, he's resilient, yet very focused on the goal that he's going after. He is able to overcome personal problems and adversity. He doesn't say to it, I got late because there was traffic. He plans for it, gets there ahead, and still be in office before time or in clinic before time. He's very customer focused, right? The doctors have to be then focused on patient experience and outcomes, not just on how many patients that they see in a day. If there are outcomes coming, patients will come back to you. You'll be able to make a larger impact. A great entrepreneur always gives full-time commitment and she's not distracted by other engagements, small engagements, right? I mean, if you have to travel, let's say 20 kilometers, that's going to take you 3 hours to reach the other end of the town versus saving those 3 hours and see 30 patients, that's your goal. You will make that hard choice on a day-to-day basis, everyday basis. And then great entrepreneurs challenge themselves every day. They are rarely satisfied with what they have achieved. They can't sit still, they can't be complacent. That's the way to really make a large impact on your goal that you are after. So what questions should you ask yourself, whether you are really driven or passionate about what you're doing? One is, why are you doing it? What's your motivation? What's your personal story? What are those, childhood, I would say, impressions that you carry that shaped your vision and your goal? Know that, replay it every day. What are the experiences that you carry? What is the training that you carry to make that happen in your goal? If your mission is to become an astronaut, then medical profession will not help you become an astronaut as much, right? If your mission is to make lives better and healthier, the medical profession is going to help you and arm you with the right experience to make a large impact, right? And then, are you really committed to this? Will you get up every day? Will you work every day 16 to 18 hours? So in nutshell, do you have a high degree of passion? And can you stick with what you're doing for a long period of time? That's easy when you love the work that you do. And you love the work that you do when you are really passionate about it and you're personally driven about it. Yeah. Now let's come to the next, the fourth out of the five, execution and entrepreneurial mindsets. I say execution because whatever ideas you may have, only way to realize your goal is to be able to work on it every day. You have to work on it in a time-bound manner, and you have to work on it with planning and execute it every day. So ideas, as Steve Jobs said, are worth nothing unless they are executed well. They are a multiplier, but it is execution that will get you the results. Great companies have execution as the core of their ethics, and that's what creates a great hospital, a great doctor, or a great professional. What are the attributes that great executioners carry? They act on the opportunity. They create organizations around what they want to achieve. They are not a one-man shop typically. Whether you look at GE or you look at Reliance, they employ hundreds of thousands of people. If you are wanting to be a great entrepreneur, wanting to, let's say, help 100 patients a day, why not help 1,000 patients a day? Right? That will make your impact much larger. Create an organization around it. Hospitals are one good example where we create an organization of helping patients every day. Commercialize new ways that replace the old. Technology changes every day. New software comes in, new GPS comes in. How do you leverage those technologies which didn't exist in the past and exist today to make yourself faster, better, and effective, right? How do you make the best of uncertainty and move fast? In any experiment, failure is a given. You will fail in some time. The key is, do you fail fast? Do you show that sense of urgency to come up? And then how do you crush bureaucracy and hierarchy in your organizations? Always give authority and responsibility together. Whoever is taking the responsibility of getting something done, give them the authority to take decision in that area. You will certainly see a large sense of ownership and a large sense of delivery. Goes without saying, you got to be hardworking, yet plan well, resource well, and then through your hard work, channelize your resources in the best of the channel to get the best of the results. Yeah. Repeat success in a small place first and then expand. When you do a product in a small place, you will know whether it works or not. And fix it before you expand, then it will work in a much larger space. So what questions should you ask yourself whether you have the ability to execute to your vision? One, are you trying to be a Superman? Are you trying to do everything alone? 1 and 1 are 11. Try to do it with somebody else who shares that passion with you, who shares that hard work with you, who shares that values with you. The life will be a lot more easier and a lot more effective. Who all are there in your team? What are they going to do? You don't want too many cooks spoiling the broth, right? Identify their roles. Build an organization chart around your team. Not everyone should be doing the same stuff. How and what have your team accomplished in the past? Because the way they accomplished things in the past will give you a sense of the future, whether they are willing, driven, and passionate about driving things with you in the future as well. And then last but not the least, if you're executing well, you should be measuring what you're executing. If your goal is to see 1,000 patients a day, how many patients did you see yesterday? How many patients are you going to see today? Are you going to see more number of patients tomorrow? Are you going to heal more number of patients tomorrow? Measuring is very critical to get you, tuned to the right goal. This is your compass to where you're going. Now let's come to the last piece, which is having the ability to experiment every day. We have to continuously increase our learning, the way we think, and the way we approach the organization. That's something was said by Indra Nooyi, the ex-woman CEO of PepsiCo. Here I want to talk about two mindsets, a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. A growth mindset says failure is an opportunity to grow. A fixed mindset, failure is a fear. And these are two very different mindsets, lead you to very different results. Do not fear failure, right? Have belief in yourself that you can do what you want to do, right? Challenges will help you do more. Don't be worried about what feedback you're getting. Use it to improve yourself, right? Change has to be continuous. And as Bill Gates said, that success is a lousy teacher. It's really the failure that helps you grow better. So what are the traits of a person having experimental mindset? They continuously look for better and different ways of doing things. They're comfortable with starting small and building up large. They're comfortable with failure. They improve things every day. They improve their patient experience from yesterday to today, from today to tomorrow. They look back every day in the evening and say, what are the one or two things that I could have done better? And then they do those two things better tomorrow. They recognize their own failures and they improve upon them tomorrow. They are highly energetic, highly optimistic, yet have the ability to identify and reflect on what is wrong. So what question should you ask yourself to see whether you are really an experimental mindset or not? Have you failed before? If you have not tried enough. You have not tested the boundaries. And the second most important is, when you failed, did you bounce back? Or did you take that failure as your fate and did not try again? If you're able to see these two in your life, you have the experimental mindset, go on, try new things, fail fast, learn, and achieve new heights. Let me now come to the last aspect. It is have the ability to talk and network. Network between your profession and network outside of your profession. Create powerful mentor-mentee relationships, powerful peer relationships, powerful cross-functional relationships will help you achieve a lot more. Bill Gates had a great friendship with Warren Buffett. Mark Zuckerberg learned a lot from Steve Jobs. Who are you going to learn from? Who are your coaches? Are you able to influence senior people to work with you and guide you? Are you going beyond your profession? Are you meeting the software experts to identify how can they codify your experiences? How can they amplify what you do on a day-to-day basis? Are you learning finance as we spoke earlier? Are you meeting other doctors to learn from what they are doing, right? Are you learning new ways of working? Are you at the edge of the technology of which help you do better? Do you know what's happening in your technology area of your own science of choosing, right? Accept good mentorship, seek for it. Work with multiple stakeholders. They could be investors, they could be software engineers, they could be your seniors, they could be nurses, they could be other professionals. One thing to keep in mind is work with people whom you respect, trust, and admire. Working with wrong folks or working with people you don't trust or taking the advice from wrong people can have detrimental effects. So identify great, right people and be aware of what's not right. Continuously meet people, find that time, and it will do wonders in what you're trying to achieve. A lot of the new innovations always come from not your own domain, but sometimes then that domain gets with a completely new domain. Hope with that, so I'll finish my session, and I hope that the session was helpful to you. And I look forward to seeing many of you taking entrepreneurial journeys and meeting your goals for whatever you choose to in a big manner. Take care and have a great day ahead.